Peter Obi undoubtedly should be Nigeria's most intelligent and smartest politician because this man successfully defeated the antics set aside by the All Progressive Congress to hook him in. Here are 5 different occasions where Peter Obi outsmarted the All Progressive Congress in Nigerian politics. Counting down from number 5, we have the issue of godfatherism. Before the presidential elections, before Peter Obi showed interest to run for the office of Nigeria's president, a lot of Nigerian politicians did not take Peter Obi seriously at that time. They all felt like Peter Obi won't go far under the umbrella of the Labour Party. They all believed that Peter Obi needed godfathers in the Nigerian political scene to bless his ambitions and his quest to presidency. But Peter Obi outsmarted all of these guys and proved them wrong. Peter Obi is very, very smart. Instead of going for godfatherism in the country, Peter Obi decided to build a team of formidable supporters called the Obedience. Peter Obi knows fully well that Labour Party is still a small party in the Nigerian political scene and affair, so he needed to build massive supporters that will support him in his journey to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Peter Obi, instead of using godfathers in the country, chose Nigerians. He chose the well-meaning people of Nigeria. And this didn't sit well with a lot of politicians in the country because they noticed the unhealthy support Peter Obi was getting from Nigerians called the Obedience. And these politicians looked for various means and methods to thwart all of the abilities of Peter Obi. They searched for various means and methods and they finally got one. And on number 4, we have the coalition of various politicians in the country to stop Peter Obi. When the All Progressive Congress noticed that Peter Obi was becoming a threat in the political scenes in the country, these guys noticed that Peter Obi was pulling up crowds in various campaign grounds. Peter Obi was pulling up fans and supporters called the Obedience, who are die-hard supporters of Peter Obi. These politicians became so scared and they looked for various ways to stop Peter Obi, and they formed a team comprising of various politicians in this country called Nigeria. A lot of politicians domiciled in both the All Progressive Congress and the PDP came together behind the scenes to try to stop Peter Obi, to pull him down. And that is where we saw people like Reno Mokri. We also got guys from the All Progressive Congress like Fani Kayode and the rest. These guys formed a team behind the scenes to castigate and try to pull Peter Obi down. At that period, any politician that wants to go viral in the Nigerian political scenes must come on air and talk about Peter Obi. We saw Nasir El-Rufai, we saw Fani Kayode, and even Festus Keyamo. All of these guys were put together to try and stop Peter Obi. Reno Mokri was sent specifically to attack the Obedience on social media platforms because these guys noticed that the Obedience pushed the message of Peter Obi on all social media platforms in the country. So Reno Mokri was a tool used, but this did not work. Peter Obi, together with the Obedience, outsmarted all of these antics set aside by the All Progressive Congress to stop Peter Obi. But instead, it worked in favor of Peter Obi. Peter Obi, being a very smart and intelligent man, replied to all of his critics using data to back up his claims. Peter Obi replied to all of his critics stating facts, and all of his statements were all fact-checked, which came out all positive. With this singular act of Peter Obi, he successfully counter-attacked all of his critics, and by doing so, he also gained massive love and support from Nigerians who noticed amongst the top 4 contestants in the presidential elections, only Peter Obi had the track record to back up all of his claims and assertions, and this made Peter Obi the talk of the town. And many Nigerians switched from PDP and All Progressive Congress down to the Labour Party. A lot of Nigerian youths moved down to the Labour Party to show love and support for Peter Obi and to cast their vote for Peter Obi. And when these politicians noticed that all of the antics and tricks isn't working on Peter Obi, they had to act really fast so as to thwart all of the abilities of Peter Obi, and that is where the third attempt came in. And on number 3, we had the possible disqualification of Peter Obi in contesting the presidential elections. A couple of months before the presidential elections, a political party called the National Rescue Movement filed a lawsuit against Peter Obi in the court of law, stating that Peter Obi wasn't fit and proper to run for Nigeria's most decorated position because he had dual citizenship. They all claim that Peter Obi is a citizen of the US, which means that he can't contest in the presidential elections. The All Progressive Congress here failed to do their homework. The All Progressive Congress just hired the services of the National Rescue Movement, known as the NRM, to do their dirty jobs for them but these guys failed to do some basic homework. Yes, Peter Obi isn't a citizen of the US, but then Peter Obi had what we call an honorary citizenship from a state of Dallas in the United States, which simply means that this state in the US honored Peter Obi by giving him an honorary citizenship. This is not a citizenship in its true sense. It's just like a certification. It's just a paperwork. Peter Obi isn't a citizen of the US. But APC failed to do some basic homework because Peter Obi, being the good guy here, was blessed and certified by the city of Dallas in the United States because of his track records, because of his accomplishments, and because of what he has done in the past. So this city of Dallas called Peter Obi and awarded him with something called an honorary citizenship. When the court of law did their homework and did some basic research, and when Peter Obi tendered the documentations from the city of Dallas, the case was quickly dismissed because these guys called the NRM presented something that was laughable to the court of law, and the case was dismissed and Peter Obi was allowed to run in the presidential elections. And on number 2, we have the presidential elections proper. During the presidential elections, Nigerians noticed a lot of irregularities that happened during the elections period. The All Progressive Congress, knowing fully well that Peter Obi is a big threat in Nigeria, they had to look for various systematic ways to stop him in the elections proper. During the presidential elections, a lot of obedients were disenfranchised because they wanted to vote for Peter Obi. The obedients domiciled in a particular polling unit in Nigeria were disenfranchised because they wanted to vote for Peter Obi, and this was done systematically to stop or pull down the amount of people that wanted to vote for Peter Obi in the presidential elections proper. Nigerians noticed a lot of irregularities during the presidential elections because in some states, the presidential elections results were heavily edited to favor and to suit a particular political party in the country. Peter Obi's vote was heavily downsized. His votes from various polling units and various states in the country to favor a particular political party in the country. And all of these things were well executed because of a particular IReV portal. The IReV portal during the presidential elections shut down, which prevented INEC from uploading live results to their server and to their portal known as the IReV. A couple of days after the presidential elections, Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress was announced as the winner of the presidential elections and the president-elect. This didn't sit well with a lot of people, a lot of political parties in the country, and this didn't sit well with Peter Obi because he contested and his votes were heavily downsized to favor a particular politician that contested in the presidential elections. Peter Obi vowed to reclaim his mandate from the court of law, and Peter Obi vowed to expose all of the irregularities that happened during the presidential elections proper. The All Progressive Congress felt like Peter Obi would give up after the presidential elections, but Peter Obi, being a very smart man, did something nobody expected him to do. Peter Obi, being a very intelligent man, did not give up, but instead he tried to reclaim his mandate from the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal, and Peter Obi outsmarted the All Progressive Congress, which led to number 1. And on number 1, we have the issue of IReV. Peter Obi, during the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal, put up a perfect legal counsel team to dig and to unravel all of the mysteries involved in the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal. Something interesting happened when Peter Obi and his legal counsel team exposed INEC being the body that conducted the presidential elections. Peter Obi went as far as getting Amazon Web Services, the server that hosted INEC's portal, and these guys disclosed something very interesting to Nigerians. These guys exposed INEC, stating that INEC's portal, known as the IReV, did not face any form of breakdown or glitch during the presidential elections, that their server and their portal was working smoothly, and there's no reason why live results and live updates did not appear on IRev's portal. Peter Obi outsmarted the All Progressive Congress here because he called up a witness who is a software engineer who knows all of the intricacies involved in building up a website, a server, and a portal. And this guy also worked with Amazon Web Services, the server that hosted IRev's portal. The All Progressive Congress and INEC couldn't defend their assertion in court because Peter Obi brought up a witness, and his witness came up with facts and evidence to prove that INEC and APC are hiding something from Nigerians. and the presidential elections weren't free and fair. Anyways, Peter Obi is not giving up anytime soon, and Peter Obi is waiting to reclaim his mandate from his court of law. While Peter Obi is waiting, Peter Obi has successfully built up various businesses, companies domiciled all across the country. If you want to see companies, businesses and firms owned and operated by Peter Obi in Nigeria and in the world at large, click on the video showing right here on your screen to watch it. Click on that video and I will see you there.